Welcome back, Guardians. And today we talk about the other person in the Vanguard, more specifically, the Warlock Vanguard, Ikora Rey. Now, what is so special about Ikora Rey? For those of you Warlocks, you probably know her better than me. I'm just a lousy hunter. But here's the greatest thing about all this. Hunters probably resemble Ikora Rey, or Ikora Rey resembles hunters more than she did Warlocks. Now you're wondering where I'm going with this. Ikora Rey had the personality of the stereotypical hunter, lone wolf out in the wilderness going on missions by herself. That was Ikora Rey, and she's a warlock, which is very surprising. It's very unlike people to do that. It's not unlike to go off on their own, but she was so aggressive. She didn't really value knowledge all that much. And through all those lone missions and countless attacks and countless fails, actually, she never really did succeed. There were a few, but she would just end up being shot down, somehow surviving. This gave her a very extensive knowledge. She knows a lot about everything now. That's why she is the head of the Warlock Vanguard. She has a ton of respect for all orders of all classes. Now you're probably wanting me to go into detail as to what kind of person she was. I did say she was aggressive and a lone wolf, but what did she actually do? Just like everyone else in the tower, she started herself out as just a regular guardian, pretty much like all of you. Her reputation among everyone wasn't really good. It wasn't as you'd think it is now. You think of her as this very wise warlock who tells you what to do, but before she was just a very outspoken, impatient, short-fused, aggressive person. Not the kind of person you'd like to be around, and she thought the same about you too. She didn't want to be around you. Now, even though I'm talking really crappy about how her social skills were not the best, she was amazing in the battlefield. She didn't excel in socializing, but she excelled beyond almost all guardians on the battlefield. She was untouchable. Same goes for the Crucible too. She was very good at the Crucible. Her aggressive tactics led her to become a shotgunner. More specifically, you probably recognize her on her knees sliding towards you with a shotgun. That's usually what you'd see her doing in the Crucible. That was the kind of person Ikora Rey was. That may give you a lot of impressions on Ikora Rey, and those are enough. You could probably jump to your own conclusions, and they are 100% accurate. If you didn't already know her own shotgun, she used the Invective. That was her weapon of choice. So the whole shotgun sliding is definitely with her. Throughout her days in the Crucible and going off on her own missions, as I said before, she just gained a wealth of knowledge. Nearly all warlocks looked up to her because, as you do know, warlocks value knowledge, and when someone else has a vast amount of that, you like to follow them, become their disciples, learn from them. This elevated her into the Warlock Vanguard, and this changed who she was. She was no longer the aggressive person going out on her own missions. She was no longer the shotgun slider in the Crucible. She became very relaxed, taking her anger out on you, Guardian, to go do her own dirty work, whether it was stopping the construction of the Nexus on Venus, or going to the moon to go fight Fogoth, if you even remember that guy. With a more passive approach on everything, Ikora Rey employs a group of spies called the Hidden. If you've never heard of the Hidden before, good, you really shouldn't. The Hidden are supposed to remain hidden, and they do exactly what you'd think they do. They are spies for the tower. They go out and they are her eyes and ears, because she no longer does these missions on her own. She's very close with a person you may not know, and you may dislike, Eris Morn. You may call her crazy, and you may say that all she is mad, and you may avoid her out of fear, but Eris Morn is a Hidden. She has a vast amount of knowledge on the enemies, more than you can imagine. So she's a very valuable spy to be within the tower, and you may be thinking, maybe Eris Morn moved closer because we didn't want her to be over in that area before, in the tower. Or maybe it was just to be closer to Ikora Rey. But that's just a fan theory that I came up with literally 5 seconds ago. So to sum Ikora Rey up, she's the warlock that was pretty much a wannabe hunter. She would take her ghost, leave behind her fire team, and go out on these random missions to random places. Sometimes she would be able to uncover knowledge about the enemy, and sometimes she would be shot down before even reaching the area, causing her to crash, and then miraculously surviving somehow. She did crash a lot, going out on these missions a lot, and being shot down a lot. But doing it so much, the fail to success ratio might be a little bit on the bad side, but for the amount of times she has done this, she has just earned herself so much knowledge. Her way of getting this knowledge isn't really the same as it once was. Before, she would use Invective, and usually it would be shoot first, ask questions later, but that doesn't really work all that well, so It's usually scare everyone and then get the knowledge. Using invective, she's very short-tempered, short fuse, scary. Invective literally means insulting, abusive, or highly critical language. That right there is what Ikora Rey is. Or was. But now with age, she's wizened up and settled down and become very passive. And I'm sure most of you like it that way because no one really wants to have another shotgun sliding person in the Crucible. It's one less person to worry about and one less reason to throw your controller. So anyways, that's it for Ikora Rey. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And for those of you that are sticking around this long, you're probably just like, hey Careless, why are you telling us this? Why are you coming in at the end of the video? This is so unlike you. What is going on? What's happening? Are you okay? The reason I'm doing this is because the past 2 videos have been really short. They're not really the most interesting people. Well, they're interesting, but there's not a lot of information on them to make them more interesting. All the interesting parts are still locked away in future DLC to find those dead ghosts. That's where they are. That's where the story is. But for now, it's not that much. So you may be either saying, oh, that's good knowledge, thanks for telling us that. It's kind of like an apology, but it's not my fault. Or maybe I'm trying to stall it and make the video go longer. No, that's not it. No. But anyways, that's been it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next video. You know who's next. Later, Guardians.